Consider two numbers. $200 million, the extra sum paid to Cristiano Ronaldo to be the face of a nation's World Cup bid. Now, consider $1.2 billion, the new valuation of Inter Miami, a club that has doubled in value since Lionel Messi's arrival. One number represents a direct payment for influence. The other represents the explosive value of organic market demand. For years, their rivalry was measured in goals and trophies, but now it's a battle of economic models. So, is it smarter to be a paid ambassador for a kingdom or an equity partner in a republic? Which path creates a more resilient, long-term empire? And what does this final chapter tell us about the future of global sports? Here's what's really happening. The fork in the road, the last great move. In the grand theatre of global football, where legacies are forged and narratives immortalized, the final acts of its two greatest protagonists are unfolding on stages half a world apart. One scene finds Cristiano Ronaldo in Riyadh, the undisputed monarch of a new footballing frontier, his every move a calculated display of a nation's soaring ambition. He is the centerpiece of a kingdom in transformation, a living monument to its power and vision. The other scene, starkly different, captures Lionel Messi navigating the fluorescent aisles of a public supermarket in Miami, a cultural icon attempting a semblance of suburban normalcy. He is the catalyst for a market's explosion, a quiet force reshaping the sporting landscape of a continent. Their final, definitive career moves were not merely transfers, they were declarations of intent, revealing two fundamentally different philosophies on life, wealth, and the very definition of a legacy. The context for these divergent paths was set by their departures from the apex of European football. For Ronaldo, the end at Manchester United was a dramatic public schism, a king dethroned who sought not just a new club, but a new kingdom, where his sovereignty would be absolute and unchallenged. The move to Saudi Arabia's Al Nassr was a venture into a territory where he could be both player and pioneer, the foundational stone upon which a league's global aspirations would be built. But here's where the story gets more complex. For Messi, the choice was more deliberate, a quiet rejection of unimaginable wealth for a different kind of prize. After a tumultuous period at Paris Saint-Germain, he turned down a reported offer from Saudi Arabia that approached an astonishing $1.6 billion, a sum that would have made him an instant billionaire. Instead, he chose Inter Miami, a decision framed not by financial necessity, but by a desire for a new lifestyle, a sense of belonging, and the well-being of his family, who found the transition to Paris difficult and unwanted. This fork in the road established the central dichotomy of their twilight years. Ronaldo's path is that of the trailblazer ambassador. He is the first of his kind, the global megastar who lent his name and credibility to the Saudi Pro League, becoming the face of a national project far larger than football itself. His role transcends the pitch. He is an instrument of statecraft, a key player in Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. Messi, in contrast, chose the path of the catalyst partner. He joined a more established, though still rapidly growing league, not to build it from scratch, but to ignite its potential. His move was designed to be a force multiplier, a partnership with Major League Soccer, its corporate allies, and a city that offered cultural familiarity, all with the goal of building a long-term business and personal legacy in the world's most lucrative market. One went to build an empire for a kingdom, the other to build a republic for his family and his future. The anatomy of a billion-dollar decision, cash versus equity. The contracts signed by Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are more than just financial documents, they are manifestos, representing two opposing philosophies of late career wealth creation. Ronaldo's agreement with Al Nassr is a monument to direct compensation, a staggering accumulation of guaranteed cash that may stand as the most lucrative employee contract in sports history. Messi's deal with Inter Miami, conversely, is a revolutionary blueprint for shared value creation, a complex web of partnerships that positions him not as a mere employee, but as a stakeholder in the very economic boom he generates. Think this is just about a salary? Think again. This is about two completely different ways of thinking about money. Ronaldo's contract is a masterclass in direct, overwhelming compensation. His initial deal was worth around £172 million per season. But in June of 2025, he signed a 2-year extension that could be worth a staggering $677 million. That breaks down to over $670,000 per day, $28,000 per hour, or $7.77 every single second. Beyond the colossal base salary, $225 million a year, the deal is packed with perks befitting royalty. He was granted a 15% ownership stake in Al Nassr, has access to a private jet worth $4.5 million, and the club funds a full-time personal staff of 16 people for his family, costing nearly $2 million a year. But the real kicker is this. Separate from his club contract, Ronaldo is paid an additional $215 million to serve as an official ambassador for Saudi Arabia's World Cup bid. It's a financial fortress built on guaranteed cash. In stark contrast, Lionel Messi's Inter Miami deal is a more modest, yet arguably more revolutionary financial instrument. His base salary is $12 million a year, with total guaranteed compensation from his playing contract at just over $20 million annually. The total package, including commercial deals, is estimated between $50 and $60 million per year. So why did he turn down $1 billion for this? Here's the first clue. The genius of Messi's contract lies in its structure. It includes an option for him to acquire a partial ownership stake in Inter Miami after he retires, incentivizing him to grow the club's long-term value. And then there's the truly game-changing element, unprecedented revenue sharing. He receives a direct cut of the revenue from new international subscriptions to the MLS Season Pass on Apple TV+, and a profit-sharing agreement with Adidas for any increase in their merchandise sales. Ronaldo's deal is the ultimate employee contract. He is compensated with a fixed astronomical sum. Messi's deal is a partnership. He is a stakeholder whose compensation is directly tied to the success of the ecosystem he has joined. Ronaldo is cashing in, Messi is buying in. The gilded cage versus the open playground. Beyond the staggering financials, the moves to Riyadh and Miami represent a profound divergence in personal life. Cristiano Ronaldo's existence in Saudi Arabia is one of insulated, royally facilitated luxury. A gilded cage where privacy is paramount and cultural norms are bent to accommodate him. Lionel Messi's life in South Florida, by contrast, is one of integrated, sun-drenched normalcy. An open playground where he and his family have found a cultural resonance that had eluded them elsewhere. Upon arriving in Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo and his family were housed in the Four Seasons Hotel, occupying 17 suites at a cost exceeding $2 million, £150,000 per month. They've since moved into a palace-like mansion valued at over $13 million, a fortress of modern luxury in an exclusive, gated community. It's designed for absolute privacy, with high-security walls, a private football pitch, and a state-of-the-art gym. But life in the kingdom required a unique adaptation. The state made an exception to its laws, prohibiting cohabitation for unmarried couples, allowing Ronaldo and his partner, Georgina Rodriguez, to live together, a privilege not extended to ordinary residents. This underscores his unique protected status. His family's daily life exists within a carefully managed bubble of top international schools and high-profile appearances that align with the nation's promotional objectives. But here's where the two worlds couldn't be more different. Lionel Messi's choice of Miami was a deliberate pursuit of a different kind of life. He purchased an £8.6 million waterfront mansion in Fort Lauderdale, and while undeniably luxurious, his home is integrated into a community rather than being a secluded palace. The most profound aspect is the ease of cultural integration. Both Messi and his wife, Antonella Roccuzzo, have spoken about how happy they are, attributing it to Miami's vibrant Latino culture. After a hard and complicated move to Paris, Miami felt like home. This sense of ease is reflected in their remarkably normal daily lives. They've been photographed shopping for groceries at a local Publix, enjoying family bike rides and dining out. There is a sense of freedom and public engagement that defines their Miami experience. This comparison reveals a fundamental difference. Messi integrated into a culture that fit his family, while a culture created a special, protected zone to accommodate Ronaldo's. Whose lifestyle is more appealing? Ronaldo's protected palace life or Messi's public freedom in Miami? Drop your thoughts in the comments and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Business beyond the pitch. These moves were not just the final chapters of their playing careers, they were the opening salvos in the next phase of their global business empires. Both men are leveraging their new homes to expand their commercial reach, but with fundamentally different strategies. Ronaldo is focused on brand extension, planting the flag of his established CR7 empire in the fertile, cash-rich soil of the Middle East. Messi, meanwhile, is pursuing new venture creation, using the unparalleled platform of the American market to build a new dynasty of businesses from the ground up. Ronaldo arrived in Saudi Arabia, not just as a footballer, but as a global business entity. His vast portfolio, under the CR7 brand, already included successful hotels, gyms, and fashion lines. With a net worth approaching $1 billion, his move to the Middle East was a strategic deployment of this empire. This expansion is already underway. His CR7 fitness gym chain is gradually expanding into the region, and his fragrance and fashion collections are now readily available on major local e-commerce platforms. He's also making significant personal investments, acquiring a $30 million plot of land on Dubai's exclusive Jumeirah Island. His on-field presence has also unlocked a new tier of state-aligned endorsements, becoming the face of AROYA Cruises, the Esports World Cup, and, most prominently, the Saudi Tourism Authority. But while Ronaldo extends his empire, Messi is building a new one. His move to Miami was a calculated pivot to conquer the North American market, the largest consumer economy in the world. He is emulating the athlete as mogul blueprint, perfected by icons like Michael Jordan and LeBron James. He co-founded Playtime, a Miami-based investment firm managing $200 million of his personal capital, targeting sports, media, and tech startups. He launched his own hydration drink, Mars Plus by Messi, which immediately became the official hydration partner of Inter Miami, a brilliant marketing feedback loop. He has also launched a new signature fragrance and a premium line of wines. His lifetime deal with Adidas has seen an explosion in sales. His pink Inter Miami jersey became the fastest-selling jersey in history. The strategic differences are clear. Ronaldo's approach is brand extension and monetization. Messi's strategy is new venture creation, a higher risk, higher reward approach deeply aligned with the entrepreneurial culture of his new home. Their arrivals triggered two completely different football revolutions. Cristiano Ronaldo's move to Saudi Arabia was a top-down, supply-side shock. His signature single-handedly gave the Saudi Pro League global credibility, unleashing a state-funded talent migration that tripled the market value of league squads and expanded its broadcast reach to over 180 territories. He was the product built to attract the world. But here's the difference. Lionel Messi's landing in Miami was a bottom-up, demand-side explosion. His presence didn't just boost numbers, it unleashed a torrent of pre-existing demand. Ticket prices on the secondary market surged by over 1,000%, and streaming subscriptions for MLS games skyrocketed overnight. He wasn't a product built for a market. He was the icon a market was already desperate for. This distinction reveals their true final roles. Ronaldo has become a strategic state asset, the global face of Saudi Arabia's multi-trillion-dollar Vision 2030. He is a key piece in a geopolitical branding campaign, a role that places him at the very center of the sports washing debate. His success is measured in a nation's changing image. Messi's purpose, however, is purely commercial. He is the engine designed to prime the North American market for the 2026 World Cup. His mission isn't to rebrand a nation, but to grow a business, measured in ticket revenue, streaming numbers, and franchise valuations. One is an ambassador for a vision, engaged in nation branding. The other is an icon for a market, engaged in market making. Their legacies are now tied to two vastly different gambles, one political, the other commercial. Whose final chapter will leave the bigger legacy? Share your verdict in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more.